All right, guys, in this lesson, we're going to talk about scheduling and what your workflow is actually going to look like on a day-to-day basis for executing your outreach. Now, I've said this earlier in the course, but it's really important that you actually take action on this stuff as soon as possible. You know, none of this stuff is going to work if you don't work, right? So what I want to do is help you actually, implement this into your schedule and make this easy to action on. If you haven't already realized this, one of the toughest parts of being a business owner is that you have to manage your own schedule and you have so many different priorities, right? This is something that you really want to be consistent with and do just a little bit each day to keep growing your business and keep growing your pipeline. But when are you going to do it? First, I recommend that you do this stuff in the beginning of the day, because one thing that I've realized from my experience is that, as a business owner, usually we kind of prioritize the urgent stuff, like, handling a client project or dealing with an issue with maybe one of our team members, right? And a lot of the important but not in your face urgent stuff can get pushed off. I would say, doing marketing, doing lead generation is definitely one of those really important tasks that usually we'll push to the side if we have a really busy or hectic day. So the best thing you can do is just, get this done, get this knocked out, hit your goals first thing in the morning, and then the rest of the day you can handle your other priorities and know that you at least check the box with this. As far as a routine goes, what you want to do is you want to separate the 3 steps of the process. Identify, building a list, messaging people, convert, actually following up with people and booking them into calls. Separate those 3 activities into 3 different things. Building the list you can do once a week or once every few weeks. It depends how big of a list of prospects you build and how long that'll last you. And then each day spend time on step 2 and step 3 actually going through the list, messaging people. Attached we have an example of what a full calendar could look like and what maybe a light calendar could look like. I would say at a minimum, plan time once a week to build your list and then spend at least an hour and a half, doing the actual messaging and following up with your leads every single day. But of course, the more time you can put in, the better. Like we talked about earlier, sales is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more deals you're going to close. So what we did is we attached an example of what a calendar could look like and how you could structure this into your day. Of course, do what works best for you, but I highly recommend you do this in the morning, and I highly recommend you do this a little bit each day. Don't just, chunk it up into just one massive day in the week, because then you're very likely to not actually do it in the first place. So just chip away at it a little bit each day. Look at the calendars for an example. And what I highly recommend is that you right now go and schedule this. When are you going to do each of the 3 steps? What times each day? How is that going to look? Because if we just say like, oh, I'm going to do sales this week, we're probably not going to do it. It's like if you say, oh, I want to work out more. Like when are you going to work out? So one thing I realized with habits is that when we actually have a specific day and time that's the same each week, we're much more likely to act on it. So go ahead right now after this video and figure out when you're going to put this into your schedule and get it down on paper. All right, so go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in the next video.